You've been hearing stories today of Canadians trying to get home, trying to stay safe in Israel. Kyle Ungerman is one of those Canadians. He joins us now, I believe, from Tel Aviv. Kyle, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me.
Where are you right now?
So now I'm in Tel Aviv at my apartment. I've just been kind of buckled in and hunkered down for the last couple of days. They've advised us to, stock up on food in case of an emergency for the next 72 hours and really kind of keep inside and not be on the streets. It's a very eerie vibe around here. Almost feels like how it would, when COVID first hit. So it's a very strange time and everyone's really on edge, just kind of watching the news and nonstop and monitoring the situation.
What's it like for you when the sirens go off or when you hear missiles? What's that been like?
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, these missiles are launched from, a terrorist organization that want to kill you. You look at fireworks in the skies, right? And that's normal people shooting them up for celebration. Here, these things that are coming in the air, whose main goal is to kill us and destroy us. So it's a really eerie feeling to have and to see kind of the atrocities that have been happening and the families killed and the hostages that are taken now. That's kind of the scary part. And I think everyone just feels really unsafe and scared for what's to come.
Kyle, can I go back to Saturday with you when all this started? What were you doing? Where were you when all this began?
Yeah, I mean, Saturday morning I was sleeping and I heard a big boom and I thought, maybe my neighbors were moving something, and I was like, they're nice people. I'll let it go. And then I heard another boom about 10 minutes later, and then the sirens went off, and then I ran to the bunker. And then initially we thought, okay, rockets happen quite often throughout the years and periodically, so didn't think anything of too big of a scale. And then once my friends and I surfaced, on WhatsApp and kind of shared videos with each other, we started to see that these terrorists have actually infiltrated cities and have passed the border and broke into Israel and were taking these cities and people hostage. And once we started to see those stories and those videos, we all started to freak out and understand that this is a lot bigger than, what has occurred in the past.
Are you thinking of leaving? Are you trying to come back to Canada?
Yeah, I mean, my parents, they've been asking me 10 times a day to come back. It's not as easy as it is. Air Canada has canceled all flights to and from Israel. Everyone's really scrambling now. But again, I am a Zionist. I did move here 5 years ago, and I do have a passion and my strength and my love is for Israel. So a part of me really wants to stay here and do what I can in this kind of war to help Israel. I understand that, if things escalate, it might be the right move to leave. But, it's constantly changing day by day, so I'm monitoring the situation as we speak. And for now, I'm here, but that could change over the next couple of days.
Okay. I know we've heard of rocket fire on and off. It didn't end on Saturday or Sunday. I know that there have been rockets up north as well coming from Hezbollah in Lebanon. What's the situation in Tel Aviv? Have you heard more rockets launched lately?
Yeah, so since Saturday, there were a little bit of quiet days. Sunday, Monday, there weren't any. And then today, actually, there were 3 separate sirens within an hour and a half here in Tel Aviv. So kind of also came out of the blue, ran to the shelter, and heard pretty big booms. And when you hear a pretty big boom, it's, the Iron Dome intercepting these rockets, the defense military system here in Israel. But you hear the boom and it kind of shakes the building, and it's a really... I get the goosebumps really thinking about it because it's pretty scary, and I'd imagine, any other country around the world that would have to have citizens experience that is quite scary.
To your description, I thought I saw this as well. People have to understand out in Tel Aviv, people are out there, there are cafes. It's a hustling, bustling kind of a place. Are you describing a situation now, Kyle, that I understand this right, where the streets are basically deserted?
Yeah, it's a really kind of, zombie land here. There's the odd coffee shops that are slightly open and, the little grocery stores and whatnot. But yeah, Tel Aviv is known as, one of the best cities in the world. They call it my home. That's why I moved here. It's they call it the Paris of the Middle East, right? Parties and celebration, and it's an amazing place. And it's completely empty. People are really nervous to kind of look around and are always having kind of head swiveling around their shoulders just because you don't know about these terrorists. As I mentioned before, these past wars had a lot of rockets that were just kind of in the air, and that was, the extent of it. But now to have these Hamas terrorists infiltrating the country and potentially, being undercover through the streets. We've been hearing stories of police officers and the army finding some of these terrorists undercover in the streets of Tel Aviv, plotting to attack, and it's freaky. When you hear that, you're just kind of always looking around, and that's why they're kind of advising everyone to stay at home.
To stay at home, unless, like you said, you need supplies and they want you to stock up on food. Are you able to get the things that you need, and are friends and neighbors kind of coming together to help each other out?
Yeah, so I'm definitely able to get all the food that I need. And that's also something that's so special about Israel and why, it's such an amazing place, is the community and family that, everyone has here. And in times of war, in times of stress, everyone really comes together and shows the real strength of this country. And that's why we will prevail. Israel will stay strong. But yes, everyone is very much helping each other out as much as possible. Friends of friends who are coming into Tel Aviv from the north. I had a friend actually last night who had to come to military base and didn't have a place to stay in Tel Aviv, and she needed to be here. So I let her in to stay in my apartment, into my room just for the night. And everyone's really having open doors and being really, treating each other like a family, which is the only way to get through this.
So, Kyle, we're going to run out of time. I'm just curious about one thing. How do you how are you informed as to what's going on? I mean, how is the government letting people know what's going on, what's next, what they should do?
Yeah, good question. The government's really, good with this. There's a lot of WhatsApp channels. Twitter, is a big thing as well. But the IDF, the Israeli government, the politicians involved, the prime minister and everyone else, they're always posting on Twitter. The news is constantly updated. News channels are always breaking news.
Okay.
And they're just keeping everyone alert because it changes so quickly in these situations that everyone needs to kind of be glued to the screen to see what can happen.
Stay safe,
Yeah,
Kyle.
tough. Yeah, absolutely. Stay safe. Thank you so much for chatting with us this afternoon. We wish you nothing but the best.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Kyle Ungerman in Tel Aviv.
Canadian until he's been there for 5 years. Yeah. His family's all here. They want him to come home.
Imagine
his life is there.
What it must be like. Deserted streets, nothing going on in the cities. He described it as the Paris of the Middle East. What an eerie place that must be right now.
Yeah.